Citi TV is live. On DSTV, go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Regardless of what your point of view may be, he holds a mirror for you to see the reflection of reality.
Two young men, brilliant student, best student in his school. He says, I believe in this as my identity, my religion. You say no. You won't take him because it breaks discipline. I think we should not be at the wrong side of history.
Dispassionate opinions that shape your point of view.
As for the president's credibility in terms of anti-corruption, I'm afraid to say he's in tatters.
An analytical and non-partisan
give you a
point
proverb,
of view.
and I can proverb. This year, forget it.
Dialogue that informs your socio-political point of view.
I'm young enough to wait for God's opportunity tomorrow, and I'm not in a haste.
Are you lacing your boots for 2024?
Absolutely not.
You are not lacing. What time you see the shoe you have been wearing? Whether they have been boots? No, it's not Cambo.
A chance for the duty bearers to provide the citizens with an honest point of
We
view.
are being given rare and privileged access to a building which is part of the National Operations Directorate.
And we are so determined, to fight all manner of crime. Even the broad daylight robberies that we see and the footage say, we can say that we are going all out, to make sure that we contain them.
Educative chit-chat from the expert's point of view.
No, there is. In fact, that rumor has been said about so many vaccines. People said the tetanus vaccine causes infertility, and we are trying to make our women infertile. No, it's not true.
On the Point of View with Bernard Avler, every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV.
Citi TV is live. On DSTV, go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hanson Lane here at Chesson on the Greater Accra region. My name is Vivian Kai, local coming up. Traders at the new Kejetia market call for the dismissal of the managing director and board chairman of the facility following the recent fire incident there.
The managing director and the board chairman should go because they supervise this mess. Suffice to say that, okay, the fire was caused by a trader. Accepted. Fine, let's talk about that if that was caused. Before the trader caused that fire, the management knew about it. They should have known about it.
Also coming up, 5 members of the Western Togoland Separatist group jailed 5 years each by High Court here in Accra. Still to come, Ministry of Education directs all parents who have not sent their wards to their various senior high schools because they do not have the full complement of their required prospectus to do so immediately.
If your child has not been able to report to school yet because you are waiting to get all the prospectus items, I want you to know that my headmasters want to see you at school immediately. So even if you don't have all the items, go to school.
And later, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin assures family of the late former Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, Dr. Anthony Akotose, of the House's support to assuage their pain.
We'll play our role and do all we can to assuage the pain of such a shock, not only to them but to the whole nation.
Let's bring you details of our stories, and we'll start with the Ashanti region because traders at the new KJT market have called for the dismissal of the managing director and the board chairman of the facility following the recent fire incident that occurred at the market. The traders are blaming them for not addressing some structural integrity issues they raised over the years. Now, the part of the market that was not affected by the fire outbreak has, however, been reopened for business following the announcement by the Vice President, Dr. Baumia. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Fatin Aminu Ibrahim has been monitoring that story. We'll go to her now to give us more details from that story. Fatih.
The market has indeed been open for business following the announcement by the Vice President when he visited this facility to inspect the severity of the fire incident that destroyed dozens of shops here at the market. Although business is currently going on as usual, the leaders of this facility have some demands they want authorities to critically look at.
Some of the demands are that we say we will still stand by that the managing director and the board chairman should go because they supervise this mess. Suffice to say that, okay, the fire was caused by a trader. Accepted. Fine, let's talk about that if that was caused. Before the trader caused that fire, the management knew about it. They should have known about it. They have CCTV cameras around, they have security personnel around, they have a safety team around who should be going around every day to inspect. Really, to be frank, when we were giving the shop, we were giving a letting out policy. Management has a right to walk to my shop this morning, tell me they want to do an inspection. They have that right. And we signed to that letting out policy. They have to walk into my shop, do whatever inspection they need to inspect. Whatever thing I'm not supposed to have in my shop, they take it out. They have that right. Have they ever done that? It's a no. Now that they've not done that, the fire came. The fire, I made the fire. It was in only one shop. If you had responded to the fire as early as possible, in that effective manner that you were supposed to respond to the fire, you wouldn't have gotten over 54 shops burnt. After all, we've had fire in this market where it was only one shop. The response at that time was so quick that it's only remained in that particular shop. It didn't spread to other places. But for now, for this one, it is management sat down, they didn't care about anything, and then here we are. So the managing director and the board chairman should go. They were elected long ago. Number two, for compensation for our affected traders, we will demand for that. If they don't give it to us, they should prepare for a class action. We will go the full haul with that.
The traders also want management of the facility to provide a place for the affected victims to operate while they work towards reconstruction of the affected area. The Kumasi City Market Traders Union has also been addressing the press on the recent developments.
Kumasi City Market Traders Union will continue to pursue this genuine cause for its members until we achieve our objective of fair representation
and the advancement of the plight of the ordinary traders at the management level of the markets. We are by this release entreating all traders, especially our members, not to yield to any attempt by any group of people who will come around to compile their names. This is a grapevine information. Contacts and other details under the ploy to secure some support for them. Such details will be used by such groups to satisfy their own interests, and so traders are cautioned to be wary of any such attempts to take their details. As you are all aware, Kumasi City Market Traders Union already have the data of its members, and therefore members should not make their vital details available to any such groups to suit their own interests. We are hopeful that investigations on the causes of the fire outbreak will be swift, and the recommendations will take into consideration inputs from the traders to prevent the reoccurrence of such an unfortunate incidents, and also ensure that traders at Kumasi City Market go about their business in a safe environment.
The victims of Wednesday's fire incidents have been stressing the need for the reconstruction of the affected area to be done as early as possible. And I've been speaking to one of them who says 3 of his shops completely destroyed.
I had 3 of my shops being burnt down, and then as at now we don't know what to do. But per arrangement, they are closing some part of the market down to see if they can fix it. All our wish is that things are done in a very speedy way, so we can move back. Either than that, we have no other option, because we are in the market and we know what's going on. We know that there are no other empty shops to be given to us. That one for sure we do know, but we are just expecting that things will move in a faster pace, so we can move back and start work. Else you have to be home for quite a long time. Because if I'm to look at the whole place, I am the only one who have had 3 shops being burnt to ashes. I couldn't pick anything. And then this time round, I am not hearing anything, I'm not seeing anything. You just come and walk around and then you go back home. Sometimes they will call you, you drive all the way here, you come, you don't hear anything, they just tell you 1 or 2 things, you go back. So we are just hoping that help will come. Either than that, we don't know what we will do.
Now, according to the traders, some other shops that were not directly affected by the fire incidents have been cordoned off together with the epicenter, and they have been raising some concerns.
My only problem is the management has decided to cordon off the entire extension area where the fire started and where it didn't go through. So we are just pleading with them that they should start the structural test from where the fire didn't go, so that those people can open their shops to do their business. Because yes, I'm affected. By my place, it's normal. Only the smoke went there. I can manage it like that. But the actual fire didn't come there. So we are pleading with them so that they can open the place for us, so that the limited spaces left, those who are badly affected, can go and occupy that spaces to do their business. And because they have cordoned off the whole area, the whole extension area, they have cordoned it off. They are saying they will do the test in phases. If they do here and they find that it is safe for people to go there, then they will open. But we are just pleading with them to start from where the fire didn't go. They should start from that place, so that those people can open their shops and do their business. Because the fire, I don't know how to say. It's just terrible. They should just help us do our business. That's what we are saying.
So far, the questions on the minds of the traders here has got to do with when the committee will be set up and when the reports and recommendations of the committee will be implemented, and that to help bring finality to the matter. For CNews, Fatih Amin Ibrahim, New KJTR Market, Kumasi.
Let's move on to some other stories. The High Court in Accra has jailed 5 members of the Western Togoland Separatist group. The group attacked 2 police stations, freed inmates, and also stole ammunitions and shot a police officer and furtherance of their course to succeed parts of the Volta and Oti regions from Ghana. Now, the 5 were handed the maximum sentence in line with charges relating to the association with prohibited organization. We have more in this report.
This is the first conviction to be secured by the state, in line with prosecutions relating to the activities of the Western Togoland Restoration Front. The group is an offshoot of the Homeland Study Group Foundation, formed by late Charles Kudoji, also known as Papa V. The group since 2017 has been engaged in a series of activities aimed at breaking away parts of the Volta NOT regions from Ghana. The group claimed that the referendum to join British Togoland to Ghana was not lawful, hence the move. At the height of their activities, an anthem and currencies linked to the new state proponents were seeking to create went viral.
God bless dear Western Togoland, liberty for our motherland. We promise to hold in highest esteem, get united as a great nation.
Police have since 2017 made series of arrests of persons involved with the group. In 2017, the leader of the group and 7 others were arrested for attempting to declare parts of Ghana independent. 21 members were also arrested in 2019 for unlawful assembly at the premises of Good FM in the whole municipality. Some members were also arrested when the group was purported to have declared independence from Ghana, erecting their flags at some state institutions, including the Volta Regional Coordinating Council. A military operation also led to the arrest of a militia group linked to the group. Papavi at some point had cautioned against the arrest of his members.
I am telling the government of Ghana that what has started happening, it is not the right thing. Going around, arresting people in the streets, taking them and locking them up in cells, and also going to houses of every individual, particularly mine, and taking my near 70-year-old wife and locking her up because the husband is talking on the freedom of my country. No.
The state initiated prosecutions into these arrests, but charges were later dropped. However, the actions of some members of the group on September 25, 2020 became a matter of police prosecution, which has landed in the sentence issued by the court. The group in 2020 blocked roads leading to the Volta region, attacked 2 police stations at Aveime and Mipe, freeing inmates, stealing ammunition and police vehicles. The attackers also shot a police officer. A security officer who was on duty at the time of the incident, in an interview with Citi News, gave an account of what happened.
I'm a 10 in the column at the front. That is, me no work. You know what's booming. Nana coming at our in time I got to cope with the now
The 5 were charged with counts of being a member, contributing and supporting a prohibited organization. The charges are contained in the Supreme Military Council Decree SMCD 20, which prohibits against being a member and promoting the secession from the Republic of Ghana of the former British Mandated Territory of Togoland or part of the territory. After more than a year of trial, the court on March 17 found the accused persons guilty for the counts charged. The sentencing was, however, deferred to Tuesday, March 21. Prior to the sentencing, counsel for the convicts in his mitigating argument urged the court to consider the fact that the convicts have been in custody for more than 2 years for the entire duration of the trial, the fact that they are first-time offenders and also of youthful age. None of the 5 are more than 35 years. But prosecution prayed the court to give a harsher sentence, which would deter other persons standing trial and harboring plots of engaging in similar acts. The state attorneys argued that the actions of the accused were premeditated, considering the circumstances of the crime. The judge then sentenced the 5 persons to 5 years imprisonment each in hard labor. The judge, however, noted that the maximum sentence of custodial sentence of 5 years was handed to the convicts in order to deter others contemplating of engaging in similar acts.
Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagman, has assured the family of the late former Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, Dr. Anthony Akotose, of the House's support to assuage their pain. The lawmaker died on Monday. He was the Member of Parliament for Old Tafo constituency for 16 years and the Minister of Monitoring and Evaluation during President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's first term from 2017 to 2021. Now, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagman paid a tribute to the late MP before the commencement of proceedings on Tuesday. Let's go to Parliament and speak to my colleague Ni Ayekwe Okai to give us more details. Ni.
Before the start of proceedings on Tuesday, the Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagman eulogized the late former Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, Dr. Anthony Akotose, and assured the family of Parliament's support.
One of our former members of Parliament. He was a very illustrious member, very effective, very well respected, a very true gentleman. He told the former member of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Jose Akutu, who was not just a member of Parliament, but was also appointed a Deputy Minister of Finance and Economy, and later he became a Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance and Economy, and he really distinguished himself both the ministry and the Parliament of Ghana. Before even joining politics, he was a known face, very active civil society leader who play our role and do all we can to assuage the pain of such a shock, not only to them but to the whole nation.
Contributing to a statement on the floor of Parliament to mark the International Day of Forest by the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Benito Wusubio, the Member of Parliament for Tamale North, who also doubles as a member of the Lands and Forestry Committee of Parliament, Alhassan Suyini, appealed to President Akufo-Addo to direct the Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, to release funds for the payment of allowances due beneficiaries of the Youth in Afforestation Program, and also urged the government to support the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Quartey, in his plans to protect the Sakumo Ramsar site.
I also will appeal to His Excellency the President to, through the Minister of Finance, assist the Forestry Commission to pay the arrears of men and women who have committed themselves to supporting the nation through the afforestation program, the government's afforestation program. They have committed themselves, they have spent sleepless nights sometimes in the sun planting trees and nurturing these trees. And for many months, they have gone unpaid. Mr. Speaker, I hope that the President on this day will direct that these arrears be paid to these men and women who have dedicated themselves to supporting us plant trees across the country. That is the second request, Mr. Speaker. The third request, Mr. Speaker, is that I hope that the government again will support the Minister for Greater Accra in his determined effort to protect our Ramsar sites. Mr. Speaker, when the Minister declared the war against encroachment on Ramsar sites, it received popular support from the people of Ghana. Unfortunately, the fire that the Minister began with seemed to be quenching, and the reports that we are getting don't seem to give government or put government in very good light. So I pray that the Minister of Lands and Forestry, together with the President, will support the Greater Accra Minister to ensure that our Ramsar sites are indeed protected.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayekwe Okai for Citi News.
Now, the Ministry of Education has directed all parents who have not seen the awards to their various senior high schools because they do not have the full complements of their required prospectus to do so immediately. Now, the ministry explains that not being able to provide all items on their prospectus should not be a hindrance to being not admitted to any of the school. The following report has more.
For the Education Ministry, this year has seen over 90% of candidates enrolled into various senior high schools. The ministry says out of the 547,329 recorded candidates, 516,464 have been placed and over 400,000 have been enrolled. This feat, the Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei Educhum attributes to the deliberate investments made by the government in the education sector.
Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's achievement in education is uncontestable. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's achievement in education is unmatched. In the last 14 years, great improvement has been made in the field of education in this country. Let me share some data with you. 2015, you look at placement and enrollment in senior high schools. 2015, 299,649 enrolled in senior high school. 2022, 465,000 students enrolled in senior high schools. These are facts. You cannot contest this. The good people of Ghana knows that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is moving full steam ahead in education transformation. STEM schools are being oversubscribed. This is under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
The minister made this comment during an engagement with some school placement call center personnel, applauding the work of the center in ensuring concerns of candidates are resolved. The Education Minister encouraged parents of students who just gained admission to senior high schools to take the awards to school even though they have not had a full complement of their prospectus.
If your child has not been able to report to school yet because you are waiting to get all the prospectus items, I want you to know that my headmasters want to see you at school immediately. So even if you don't have all the items, go to school. The headmasters can't wait to see you and welcome you to their schools. They don't want you to stay at home. Go to school with the little that you have. And if you are determined, one day you will tell your story of how you went to your Odogono with your one shirt, one shorts, and the government gave you your uniforms, and then you say the rest is history. You tell the world that you didn't wait till you got all your items, and yet you went. So parents, send your children to school. Let's take advantage of the opportunity presented to us by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government, and let us all embrace the free senior high school free TVET so you can change the future of your children, change the future of your family, and change the future of this great nation called Ghana.
The minister also reacted to former President John Mahama's comments on his threat to close all underperforming schools if they do not improve educational outcomes.
Some time ago, a sitting president famously made a statement that you have not been a president before. You can't question him, you can't engage him. But this same person, now a former president, is trying to engage me, a minister, and I've never been a president before. So I really don't understand why I'm being engaged. So my name has popped up in the media these days. But I want to tell you one thing. Records are sacred. Anybody want to contest it, check your data, come back and tell us who has done better in education in this country. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo record is unmatched. So if anybody wants to engage me as the Minister for Education, I don't have any record of my own. I have the record of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the last 14 years is unmatched.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom with me, Vivian Kai Loco. When we come back, former board chairman of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Professor Stephen Adey, attributes current economic crisis to excessive borrowing. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Creamy Plus is a fully skimmed evaporated milk. Creamy Plus is available in a shop near you.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I don't know what kind of paper I don't know to stick on. Me pen the POS machine. Hello. Baby, tonight dinner at 7. Bye.
The winning numbers are 10, 12.
Sorry. I won.
Your lottery experience just got better with the new NLA instant payment. Play on the NLA machine, and if you win up to 1,200 Ghana cedis, you will be paid instantly without any stress via short code *389*1000#. Payment above 1,200 Ghana cedis can be redeemed at the newly established payment centers.
Hey!
NLA instant payment and a paying grind.
Wait, guys, bring more.
NLA development through games.
You're welcome back to the City Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loko. Now, the former board chairman of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Professor Stephen Ade, has blamed the Akufo-Addo-led government for excessive borrowing, which he says is the cause of the country's current economic crisis. According to him, although the emergence of COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war may have affected Ghana's economy, the fundamental mistake the government made was to have borrowed beyond its capacity to pay back. We go to the Ashanti region where our Middle Belt chief has more.
The government of Ghana is racing against time to get the International Monetary Fund (IMF) bailout sealed by the end of March 2023. While IMF and government officials have on many occasions attributed Ghana's economic crisis to the impact of COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war, former board chair of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Professor Stephen Ade, says it is largely as a result of the excessive borrowing. He's thus called on government to accept responsibility and work to change the fortunes of the country.
Reality is that I think the biggest mistake they made is that they borrowed beyond our capacity to service it. And whether you are a country or an individual, if you borrow beyond your capacity, you will be in trouble. Of course, COVID came in and Ukraine, but the reason why things got worse was because of this underlying mistake that they made, and they must admit it. Of course, if not, they wouldn't be going to the IMF. And I think that as to the way forward, once you are an individual, you get broke, and your debtors come after you. It's either insolvency or liquidation. When it comes to the government, it's renegotiating with your debtors. And the debtors happen to be Ghanaians owing about almost half of it in terms of treasury bills and bonds, and the foreigners. And he's saying that I can't pay. Let us discuss it. And that is what is happening. And I think that the debt restructuring will go through, but it means that the next couple of years things are not going to be easy for everyone. And we are hoping that we would, for me, whether we will learn and not repeat it again. And that will be me and you being watchdogs, and making sure that they don't go on another borrowing spree. And also, the leakage should be reduced, because government after government, the level of corruption and wastage has been too high. So we don't get value for money. And it has been true for as much as I know.
Professor Stephen Adair said this when he addressed journalists on the sidelines of the Signature Market pre-launch campaign at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, where he blamed journalists and intellectuals of not doing enough to make government officials accountable.
Every time they borrowed, you heard it on the news approved by the Parliament, and you said nothing. And now that you say we can't pay and pay some more, you are crying. So the first thing is that all of us, and especially those of you who have the privilege of the media, should stop the sensationalism and then be analytical and critical. And also, let me get you, don't always get people who are NDC and MPP on the television, the radio, they say that sells. Bring people who will be able to educate the Ghanaians and tell them what to do. There's going to be election, all promises. Not even a question will be asked. How are you going to fund your promises? No. When you go and they give you food and other things, you are finished. And these are the type of things that we should all be looking at. And I must say that my fellow intellectuals have been quite disappointing, because there hasn't been sufficient intellectual discussion. Because being a university, being paid by the government, and you are free, a university lecturer will not be arrested for speaking their mind. They should use their forum and their seminars to really think proactively about where Ghana should go, so that we don't get to this situation again.
The first Deputy Speaker, Joseph Osei-Usu, in an earlier interview with Citi News, says the current economic situation is mainly because the country has not been able to pay the interest on its loans.
The current economic situation, let's discuss it. What is the current economic situation? The real challenge...
The fact that we're at IMF and all that.
We're at IMF because we can't afford to pay our interest, period, nothing more. The revenue we generate as a country versus our monthly returns. If you pay all the interest, the rest of the money left cannot pay workers. If you pay workers, what is left cannot pay interest. So government keeps borrowing. And so you say that is not sustainable. But because of that, our what we call reserves have dwindled. And that's why our currency is good.
As Ghana is going to the IMF, the country is being urged to critically look at how it manages its finances so that we don't get into a similar situation in the near future. For Citi News, I'm Edward Oponmafo, Kumasi.
Well, the NDC campaign manager for the 2020 general elections, Professor Joshua Alabi, is urging delegates to give former President John Dramani Mahama over 99% endorsement to become the flag bearer of the party. Professor Joshua Alabi, together with some party bigwigs, filed the nomination form on behalf of John Mahama on Tuesday. Now, speaking to the media after the exercise, Professor Joshua Alabi stressed that delegates must give the former president the nod to lead the NDC into the 2024 elections. We have more on this by Philip Nilante. Philip, if you can hear me, what more can you tell us?
The Elections Committee of the National Democratic Congress slated Monday, 20th March 2023 to Wednesday, 22nd March 2023 for the filing of nomination forms by flag bearer hopefuls. Well, the exercise is expected to see about 4 candidates, including Ernest Kobia, Dr. Dufour, Kojo Bunso, and John Dramani Mahama. on March 21, 2023, that is on Tuesday, the former President John Dramani Mahama asked a team led by Professor Joshua Alabi to file his nomination forms on his behalf. Here is Joshua Alabi speaking to the media after filing the nomination forms.
This campaign is our campaign. This campaign is my campaign. Yes. And I know, together with us, we shall go around the length and breadth of this country to talk to our people. Even with 51%, he has won. 60%, he has won. 70%, he has won. 80%, 90%, he has won. But we want 99.999% to send a strong signal to our opponents that our party is firmly united behind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Yes.
2024 is not going to be very easy. Around the whole country, what the people say is very simple. The NDC is coming back. They say the NDC is coming back. But you know, when something belongs to you and you don't protect it, the thief will come for it.
The General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Fiabikwete, spoke to the team led by Professor Joshua Alabi after they were done filing the nomination forms on behalf of John Dramani Mahama.
On behalf of the National Democratic Congress, on behalf of all the leaders at the national and at the functional level, I want to congratulate you, Prof, on behalf of the candidate John Dramani Mahama for having gone through the very rigorous assignment of going through the process of going through all your forms, getting all the necessary endorsements, and being able today to submit all of them in good time. We want to give you an assurance that we are determined as a party to provide a very level playing field for all the contestants and ensure that at the end of the day, whoever emerges represent the true aspiration of the millions of our supporters. We believe that so far the campaigning has been very well. Our guidelines have been pretty much adhered to, and we expect that that will continue between now all the way to May 13th, when we can have the presidential primaries that will bring about the emergence of who is the right person to be leading our party come the general elections 2024. So we can actually only wish you the very best of luck. We pray that we conduct this election in a manner that will keep together the party.
For the camp of John Dramani Mahama, they are hopeful that delegates will give the former president massive support to win the flag bearership position and eventually become the president of this country. Reporting for Citi News from the party headquarters here at Adabraka, my name is Philip Latte.
Meanwhile, parliamentary candidate aspirant for the National Democratic Congress in the Awutu Senya East constituency, Nakoyo Okuno, says she is optimistic of beating incumbent MP for the area, Mavis Hawa Kumsin, by 72% if given the nod to lead the party again as the parliamentary candidate-elect come May 13, 2023. But that will not come easy, as she has another female contender who is a grassroots person to contend with in this primaries. Our Central Regional Correspondent, Calvis Tete, has more.
Amidst wild cheers and chants, party faithfuls accompanied their desired candidates to file their nomination as candidates for the upcoming primaries of the NDC here in the Central Region. The Kaswa constituency, which has always been a place of interest in election affairs, has seen 3 candidates filing their nomination on the second day of the exercise, with 2 other persons expected to file on the 3rd day. The contest in Kaswa happens to be an interesting one to watch, as the former parliamentary candidate in the 2020 elections, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno, is expected to battle a new female entrant, Dinah Tete, an assemblywoman alongside 3 other male candidates. Political watchers in the constituency believe the main contest will happen between the 2 females. Showing up for the second time after coming more closer to victory in the party's history, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno prides herself as the tried and tested candidate with the highest capability of winning the Kaswa seat for the NDC. She believes if given the nod to lead the party again in the primaries, she will beat incumbent MP for the area, Mavis Hawa-Kumsing, by 75%.
Scientifically, there was a margin. Artificially, it is possible 2024, we are winning the elections. So we are not talking about margins now, because 2024 is a win-win situation. It is the love of the people, the love for mankind, the love to serve my country. The people of Ewutu East constituency are crying. The youth is worried. Our mothers are crying and yelling for a change, for something better to be done in the constituency, for developmental projects to be done in the constituency, for jobs, for infrastructures to be done in the constituency.
Dinah Tete, the other female aspirant, is sure of winning the parliamentary primaries and later the Kaswa parliamentary seat. She is counting on her experience as an assemblywoman and believes she has more strength in grassroots mobilization for the purpose of victory.
ASEC needs a grassroots person who understands delegates, who understands the dynamics of the Ewutu East constituency people. That is why I am coming on board. I have served the people. I have worked in assembly for 2 terms. I understand the grassroots. I understand the needs of this constituency, and I am coming to help bring the needed development that we need in the Ewutu East.
Meanwhile, the party says it expects candidates to exercise a clean and peaceful campaign. Abubakar Montari is the Director of Elections and Chairman of the Elections Committee of the NDC in Kaswa. He spoke to Citi News.
Even before filing, when they picked nomination, they started campaigning by way of going around for endorsements, everything. It has been smooth, and we expect that level of smoothness to continue into the future until 13th of May, when we are done with the primaries itself.
Meanwhile, the incumbent member of parliament for Wa East says he's confident that delegates in the constituency will re-elect him in the upcoming parliamentary primaries of the party. According to Dr. Godfrey Seidu Jasau, who is seeking his second-term mandate, the constituency has witnessed progressive leadership under his tenure, even in opposition. Now, speaking to the media after submitting his nomination form, the former lecturer called on the delegates not to fall prey to lofty promises by their opponents, as that could mislead their choices and draw back development in the constituency.
Before submitting his nomination form, Dr. Godfrey Seidu Jasau interacted with some branch executives and a cross-section of party faithful at Taklagre, where he shared his achievements as a member of parliament and vision for the party in the Wa East constituency. He was later accompanied by a jubilant crowd of supporters to submit his nomination form at the NDC's party office in the community. The NDC's election director for Wa East, who received the nomination forms, charged all aspirants to be decorum in their campaigns.
We want to maintain our seat. We don't want to lose the seat. And then most importantly, one cannot tell who will win at the end of the day, but anyone who wins at the end of the day, we need to canvass for the people to win the general election. So I'm only advising our people that we should be decorous in our campaigns. We should remove insults, backbiting, and all those things. Let's campaign on good grounds. Let's send our good message to the delegates. It's the delegates who will decide who will win the primaries. And then general elections too. If we are able to do all these things, I think it will be a walkover for us, because Wa East is a swing constituency.
Speaking to the media after the submission, the incumbent Member of Parliament touted his achievements and called on the delegates to give him a resounding endorsement in their upcoming parliamentary primaries.
This call for this re-election has been caused by the youth themselves. And the reason they are doing it is because of the 2-year stewardship that I have executed so far. You would realize that as a lawmaker, I have tried my possible best to make sure that I qualitatively represent the people of Wa East in the House of Parliament. I have played various roles, pronounced and a lot of issues of national interest. I have represented and articulated the needs and challenges of the people of Wa East in the area of roads, in the area of agriculture and its support, in the area of education, in the area of health, in the area of poverty alleviation. I have said a lot of things to draw government attention and decision holders and policymakers on these issues. I have to report that there have been a lot of positive response, but as you yourself are witnesses, the challenges of development of Wa East is so enormous that we need time and consistency to be able to have significant changes in all the sectors that I have identified.
To most of these supporters, the Wa East legislator has executed his role well in Parliament and also brought the needed development to the constituency.
Our subsequent or past leaders are doing their best to resolve those issues. But since Honorable Godfred Sedu Jasau came to power, that was 2020, what he has been doing has to do with those very problems that we are always confronted with all this while.
When he came into power, he did not refuse his promise. He started it by helping us, supporting school fees, paying school fees to some of the youth that have completed junior high school, senior high school that are going to tertiary. He helped them pay their school fees.
As the NDC gears up for its parliamentary primaries, the incumbent Member of Parliament for Wa East, Dr. Godfred Sedu Jasau, has touted his achievement, calling on the electorate to maintain him in their upcoming elections. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Latif Mahama. Bagalare.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom with me, Vivian Kai Loco. When we come back, new Yagbomura outdoored at the Jakpa Palace in Damongo. To stay with us, we'll be bringing you sights and sounds of that outdooring ceremony.
My name is Tina. I am a person living with HIV. I got to know my HIV status after I gave birth and lost the child because of HIV. In those days, prevention of mother-to-child transmission services had low patronage due to fear and stigmatization. Today, many HIV-positive women have delivered negative children. I follow the guidelines and take my HIV medicine called ARVs every day, as prescribed by my doctor. This makes me strong and healthy, and also prevent me from passing HIV onto any future child. Please avail yourself for PMTCT services when pregnant. It is the only way to ensure you do not pass the HIV onto your baby during birth or pregnancy. If you have tested for HIV recently and it was negative, test again when pregnant to ensure baby and mother are well. Let us work together to have an HIV-free generation.
Finally, anyone can become a household.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You Go Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.ugoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. Ugoflip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
And you're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loko. Now, Bikunuto Jiwuswale has been outdoored at the Jakpa Palace in Damongo at a colorful ceremony. The new Yagbonra, who was enskined at Nyange on March 20, committed to holding Gonjaland together and called on stakeholders to support the palace as they work to develop the area. Citi News' Savannah regional correspondent Richard Fogo was at the ceremony and reports.
Yagbonwura Bikunuto Jewuswale was born on 16th May 1954 in Chama, in the Tulwe Paramountcy of Gonja in the Central Gonja district of the Savannah region. He joined the chieftaincy institution in 2006 when he was enskinned Jakpa Serewura, and in 2007 became the Tamanklanwura. His Royal Majesty later occupied the skins of Kanchanko and Bunda between 2011 and 2012. On 21st April 2020, Jira Bikunuto Jewu was enskinned Paramount Chief of the Tulwe Traditional Area, making him the next in line for the Yabon skin. As fate will have it, the kingmakers of Gonja announced he will be the next Yagbonwura following the demise of Tuntumba Boresa, a role he humbly accepted. He was on Monday, 20th March, enskinned the 34th Yagbonwura at Nyange, the ancient capital of Gonja, in accordance with traditions. Jira Bikunuto Jewuswale has now been adored at a colorful ceremony at the Jakpa Palace in Damongo on 21st March 2023. Paramount chiefs and overlords from other traditional areas, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and former President John Dramani Mahama were among dignitaries in attendance. The Yagbonwura, in a speech read for him by Saka Swale Bakari, called on all stakeholders to support the palace as it relates the development of the area.
The big responsibility cannot be done or cannot be borne alone without the help of the councillors, the Gonja Traditional Council, and other members of the Savannah Regional House of Chiefs. My focus is on the development and transformation of Gonjaland to play its full economic, cultural, and role in support of the Republic of Ghana will certainly require close cooperation and collaboration with the government of Ghana. It therefore pleases me greatly that you, the government of Ghana, it is therefore pleases me greatly that you, the Vice President of Ghana, are here today together with the former Vice President, the former President of the Republic of Ghana. How can a father with such accomplished son fail to fulfill his vision?
The Yagbonwura also assured he will take steps to amicably settle territorial disputes with other traditional areas. Former President John Dramani Mahama, on his part, applauded the Gonja area for the time-tested peaceful transitions from one Yagbonwura to another.
Has worked to perfection, and we're seeing that the traditions that were left by our great forebears, led by Indira Jakpa, have served us well in a very seamless and smooth transition of power following the death of the late king. I feel very proud to be a Gonja today. It is not the same in many other traditional areas. In many traditional areas, when the king dies, it means the beginning of disputes, it means the beginning of conflicts, people get injured, and people can even be killed before they are able to instate a new chief. It is not so in Gonjaland, and I'm proud of that.
The vice president, who led government's delegation to the event, assured the Yagbonwura of government's commitment to the development of the area.
We have heard the plans and the vision that he had for the Ikot State and the Gonja State and the region. I want to assure him that the government will give him the utmost cooperation in fulfilling that vision for the development of the Ikot State. Personally, I have had a relationship with the Yagbonwura. In fact, when I got to know him, it never occurred to me that he will be the next Yagbonwura. At that time he was Tunewura. And we had a personal friendship, and there were times he would call on me and I'll respond to his call. I didn't know, as I said at that time, that my good friend would become a Yagbonwura. So I was very, very humble when in his speech he said to me, he said to us that I was his son. And yes, I am his son. He is my father.
The new Yagbonwura, Bikunuto, Jewu, Swale, has been outdoored to Gonja, and indeed the whole country and the world. As he says in his speech, he will continue to hold Gonjaland together and call for support from all stakeholders to make Gonjaland prosperous under his reign. Speaker after speaker emphasized the need to continue to implement this time-tested transition in Gonja when the overlord passes. It has always been peaceful, and a peaceful one has been witnessed. The former president, who himself is a royal from Bole, said he is proud to be Gonja, and everybody here was proud. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who led government delegation, assured the new king of the support of government as he seeks to bring development to the area. For Citi News, I am Richard Fogo, Jakwa Palace, Damango.
Well, that's it for today's edition of the Citi Newsroom. Our website, citinewsroom.com, has more stories. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. My name is David Kai Loco. Thank you so much for joining us.